G'day guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm Scott Crusher, but for once, I'm not in the collection room. I've left my natural habitat, and for the very first time, I've taken this show on the road. So we're sitting just outside Wests Leagues Club here in Western Sydney, which is the site of CollectorCon, the first major toy fair in my area since before the pandemic. So I'm really excited to not only check out the show, not only get back on the hunt, but I'm going to take you guys with me. I'm going to do something that I've never done before. I don't know how it's going to go down, but I'm going to try and get a little bit of footage of some of the booths at the show. I'm going to try and give you a little bit of a look at some of the items that the vendors are selling at the show. And then after that, we're going to come back here and I'm going to share my pickups with you. Now, when it comes to the pickup segment of the video, ideally, I'd prefer to be back in the collection room, sharing those with you in the comfort of my own home. But the collection room is actually off limits at the moment, and I'll explain a little bit about that later. Now, one thing I also want to mention while I think of it is my voice might be a little bit hoarse. I'm coming off a fairly big weekend up the coast with my brother and his wife and some other friends, and we made the most of the weekend. It's Sunday morning now, so I'm a little tad worse for wear, but that's okay. Not letting that get in the way of the first major toy fair since before the pandemic, so that's not going to stop me. And another thing I want to mention while I think of it is being the first major toy event, toy fair, toy show since before the pandemic, the ticketing system is a little bit different. So instead of just being able to purchase a ticket and attend at any time I want, which is normally when those doors open, they sold tickets in hourly slots. So you had 10 a.m. tickets, 11 a.m., 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. Now, although I knew about this show well in advance and I've been counting down, I obviously wasn't organised enough, or I didn't anticipate the demand for tickets. So I missed out on the 10 a.m. slot and I'm booked in for the 11 a.m. slot. It's about 10:30 now. I'm going to try and get in there a touch early, get checked in and go through the process so I can try and get a little bit of a head start, but we'll see. I'm hoping that the items that I typically go for at these kinds of shows haven't been all snapped up before I get through the door. But on the positive side, on the other side of the coin, I'm hoping that the crowds are a little bit more favourable, because at this same event last year, which was a little bit more than 12 months ago, this show was jam-packed, and there was a little bit of a wait to get to some of the more popular booths, which would have made the idea of filming quite difficult. So hopefully we don't have quite those same issues this year. Anyway, that's it for me. Enough of the preamble. Let's get in there and let's see what we can find. Alrighty guys, so that was Collecticon. We're back in the car in a different location because I started filming this part of the video back where I was parked before and my phone started overheating. So I had to I had to cool the phone down, find an undercover location, and here we are doing this for a second time. I also want to apologize for the fact that the quality of the footage at the show wasn't great. Like I said, my first time taking this show on the road, and it was pretty awkward, you know, navigating crowds, trying to find the booth that I wanted to film, and, you know, do that all while interacting with vendors. It was, you know, not the most natural thing for me, but there's another show in 4 weeks, which we'll talk about in just a bit, and I'm expecting that you know, we're only going to get better from here. Now, it was a really fun show, you know, just as I remembered, but with far less crowd, which was awesome. As far as the pickups go, we'll get to them in just a bit. They were a little bit few and far between. I don't know if the items that I'm on the hunt for got snapped up when the show first opened at 9 AM, or you know, just whether the fact that in the 12 to 18 months since there's been toy fairs in my area, my collection's filled out, and naturally it's a little bit harder to find those things that I'm looking for. Either way, we picked up some cool stuff, just not quite as much as I would have liked, but that's okay. I'll share them with you in just a bit. Really fun show, you know, great to see some of the vendors that I used to see every other month but haven't seen in more than a year, so fantastic to catch up with those guys. And there's more shows, there's a nice schedule of shows throughout 2021 which I'm really excited about, and this was a great start. Now, one thing that I mentioned in the earlier part of this video was the fact that the collection room is off limits at the moment. Normally I'd like to film this part of the video back at home in the comfort of the collection room. I can't right now. I've got my dad staying with me, and you know, he's between homes at the minute, so he's staying with me for a little while, which is fun. And when he first came to my place, I insisted that I stay in the collection room and he stay in my room. That wasn't just me being polite. I genuinely wanted to stay in that space, surrounded by my CRT TV, my video games, my action figures, my comics. He dismissed that as me being polite, said he wasn't going to put me out of my room, so that's his space for now. So that's where we're at with the collection room. With that said, it's a short-term thing, and once he does find his new place and I've got the collection room back, I've got a renewed passion and excitement to keep the progress going, to get myself another display cabinet, to get more of my collection on display, to finally get the movie posters that I've got framed and get some other items for the walls. So I'm really excited to get that done. And as always, you know, I'll track that progress and share it with you in the form of another collection room tour video. So that's that, and now let's get on to the pickups. Alrighty guys, the first thing that I picked up was a couple of 1990 wrestling magazines. So we've got Wrestler magazine, which is from September 1990. So this would have been very close to WrestleMania 6, which is one of my all-time favorite WWF pay-per-view events. So we've got, you know, Ultimate Warrior wimps out, why he won't wrestle Hulk Hogan. So this is when the Ultimate Warrior was the Intercontinental Champ, leading up to when they had that awesome champion versus champion bout between the Ultimate Warrior and the Hulkster. So we've got that one. And then a month later, we've got Wrestling Eye magazine from October 1990. So really happy to have these. Both of these magazines advertise color pinups. So I'm really excited to flick through these magazines and maybe even find some posters for the collection room. We'll have to see. And I wouldn't mind doing a video where I flick through these magazines, being that it's two different magazines, but both September, October 1990. They should cover the same sort of period in wrestling, obviously. So I'm really excited to have the magazines, and I think I'd like to do maybe a flick through video, so we'll see how we go with that. And I'm really pumped to have a flick through and have a look at all the cool advertising and merchandise in these as well. So very happy to have the wrestling magazines from 1990. The next item that we have is the only action figure that I picked up from the Collecticon. Normally I come home with a whole bag of action figures, but like I said, my collection's filling out. It has been 18 months or close to it since I last attended one of these big shows. So my collection's filled out, and also possibly I may have missed the boat for the first hour and a half of the show. But we've got the Fright Features Winston Zedmore figure. and we've got him with one of his accessories. So very happy to have Winston. This is the only Fright Features Ghostbuster figure that I don't have. So I've got Peter, Ray, and Egon. So really excited to have Winston in the collection as well. We've got him with an accessory. We just need to find his companion ghost. So Winston Zedmore Fright Features is in the collection, and that action feature works. Now while I've got him, let's just get him out quickly and give that a proper test. So the head still spins, the jaw opens. So very happy to have Winston Zedmore in the collection. And guys, the last pickup that we've got is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles colouring in book from 1990. So just like the magazines, we're very much focused on good old 1990 with the show's pickups today. So this was when I was 6 years old. This was peak Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles hysteria. So this is right up my alley. I'm almost certain that I had this colouring in book, if not one very similar. And it's completely unused. It's in beautiful condition, and we've got some awesome artwork there. So another awesome score, and this is going to display beautifully on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shelves. A nice backdrop to some of those action figures. And that's it, guys. Some really fun additions to my collection. Maybe not quite as many as I would have liked, but hey, that's collecting. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, Facebook Marketplace and eBay are an awesome resource as a collector. Just yesterday or the day before, I picked up some vintage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures on Facebook Marketplace that I've been looking for. So definitely, not knocking eBay or Facebook Marketplace, but there's just something about, collecting in the real world, being out in the wild and seeing these things in the flesh and being able to pick them up and take them home. So really happy that toy fairs are back in the works again. So that's Collecticon in the books, and I'm already looking forward to the next one. And speaking of the next one, I don't have to wait very long. This is Collecticon's schedule for 2021. So if you happen to live in Sydney or Western Sydney, or you happen to be visiting Sydney and you're in my neck of the woods and you're looking for a toy show, these are ones I'd keep an eye out for. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys. And that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you could hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Last thing before I let you guys go, my subscriber count is slowly starting to build up. I got close to 50 subscribers. It doesn't sound like much, but it's a lot to me, and I really, really appreciate each and every person that has hit that subscribe button. And like I mentioned, I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.